Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a legal update from Richard Hoffman's case against Fidelity, the DTCC and also FINRA, and we're also going to be looking at GNS and your personal story. So before we make a start, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the market. So we can see here headline from CNBC, the stocks making the biggest moves midday include Palo Alto Networks, Coinbase, Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon and more. So Palo Alto Networks, PANW, was one that we did call out in the Discord where we expected it to be earnings. I think that's been proved correct, and I think it's currently up approximately 11% on the day. So let's start by having a quick reminder of where we are in terms of our 7-day action plan. So February the 22nd, 2023. Currently, today, the complaints are going to be focusing on brokers and dealers. In particular, we've got TDA, Schwab, Fidelity, and many, many more. Yesterday, we were looking at the SEC. So this is what I posted yesterday in response to a tweet from the SEC, who were looking at investor alert and looking at latest ways for fraudsters who use social media to scam investors. So tagging them in, basically informing them that obviously the biggest scam in stock market history is when the SEC rules on shorts closing their positions were not obeyed. There was also illegal naked shorting used to destroy retail portfolios. And will the SEC help people get back their pensions and get back their savings? So I'm not expecting a response from the SEC, but obviously we will continue with our message. So let's start by having a look at the legal update now. So before we make a start, let's have a quick reminder in terms of what Richard Hoffman posted earlier today, and what he stated here is expect another brief legal update regarding his Fidelity litigation no later than Thursday. Follow and subscribe. He has a channel there, outstanding channel, not legal advice, so go ahead and check that out as well. So having looked at Richard's video update, what I've done here is summarise 5 key points from his video update, and this is with regard to his complaint for declaratory relief, security law violations, racketeering and also accounting, or should we say lack of accounting, and this is against FINRA, the DTCC and Fidelity. So the other key update in terms of what we can say that was shared by Richard is that this is likely now to be going to federal court. So I think Richard has agreed for it to go to federal court, but what we can see here in terms of the other updates that I've picked up is Richard cannot be specific about strategy, although he does have a strategy, so he's not going to give that away just yet. In terms of the Second Amendment that he's probably obviously waiting for a reply from Fidelity about, he has added in an amended complaint. This has been drafted with much more detail now and has also been sent to Fidelity, so awaiting a response. So in the previous video I did cover his key complaints, so please refer back to the previous video where we looked at those complaints broken down. So number 2, it states here the action obviously as confirmation will go to federal court. Richard has also agreed to this, and hopefully that will be much more interesting. Number 3, in terms of Fidelity, they are now likely to file for a motion for arbitration. So arbitration is probably indicates to me that it's going to be negotiations, discussions, let's try and come to a settlement. But what Richard is saying is once he gets this kind of move from Fidelity, he has a strategy which could increase the exposure for Fidelity. Obviously, Richard is not revealing the strategy just yet, but this will be evident once obviously Richard replies to Fidelity. So we're waiting for details of this strategy, and it certainly sounds interesting. So if we now move on to number 4, what he's also stated here, in discussions with Fidelity Counsel, Richard made them aware that if everyone in the MMTL community is adequately taken care of, then how Richard Hoffman approaches litigation will change. However, what is also stated here with regard to point number 4, if everybody is not taken care of, so that basically means me, you and everybody else who is holding MMTLP, if we are not taken care of, then the opposite is true. So this is very, very kind of Richard, because he's basically demonstrating here that he's not only fighting for himself, he's also fighting for the whole of the MMTLP community. So credit to Richard there. And he's also saying if he did not get any reply so far from Fidelity, so they're only replying with silence. What I'm now going to do is continue with the series with regards to your personal MMTLP story. So story number 1 here is a 62-year-old with a medical condition that forces him to live on a small Social Security monthly check. After doing some DD, it took into MMTLP, so he then invested everything that he had in the account with a plan to sell on Friday the 9th, or by the latest Tuesday the 12th. Obviously, we know what happened then. This is now leaving this person in a bad situation. He cannot trade any new opportunities or pay any current bills. So not a great outcome there so far. Story number 2 is a tile contractor. He had a few thousand shares of MMTLP, and then he put more money in. The nest egg went from 90,000 at one point down to 14,000 and now apparently 0. So in 6 days, everything he had has gone. He definitely won't be putting any more money into the market. The hedge funds, broker dealers, market makers, they changed the rules and stole from everyday citizens. Give back the American dream when a hard-working guy can build a life for his family without being robbed by the people that are supposed to be watching out for us. So great point there. And final story here is a person who lost half his MMAT shares and received 2,522 MMTLP at the reverse split. He wound up selling all MMAT shares over 20,000 to purchase more MMTLP, and he's not sold one single share of MMTLP. He's had approximately $90,000 worth of MMTLP shares, and that was at 13,263, which at the moment right now is also giving him a 0 value. So his plan was also to sell, buy more MMAT, and then use the rest to retire. Obviously, we also know what happened there again, and I, along with tens of thousands of retail investors, are left holding a very large empty bag. So again, not a great outcome there, but it's a key reminder what FINRA said is they were doing this to protect the market, to make sure there is no uncertainty in clearing of the process. But what you have actually done is destroyed retail investors, created uncertainty, and left many people out of pocket. And now I'm going to provide an important update from Roger James Hamilton. So he just posted it earlier today, and he shared a press release. So the press release here, dated February the 22nd, 2023, states Genius Group launches legal action against illegal trading activities in company shares. So very, very positive. Roger is a very proactive CEO, and in my personal opinion, I wish more CEOs were just like Roger. But let's see what he stated here. He says, today we launch phase 2 of legal action. I estimate size of damages to GNS from illegal trading over $150 million and maybe much higher. If shareholders agree, my preference is any or all win is going to be leading to a 50% dividend of restricted stock to shareholders, 50% to fund the fight against naked shorts. So great incentive here for everybody who's invested in GNS. And he's also stated here, use all wins from naked shorts to fight naked shorts. Imagine if all CEOs and companies did the same, we could have the funds and the army to win. So I believe the CEO block is a great move. I think that is growing, and I think that is going to become more powerful. And I think over time, in my opinion, I think that will make a huge difference to the way markets operate. I'd like to finish off by giving a quick review of our weekly watch list. These were some of the stocks that we called out last week, and these included some important shipping stocks, which we know were having a good momentum. FRO, that was up 4.5%, ASC up 2.2%, DHT, that was up 4.5%, XPON, that did well on the Monday, up in excess of 40%, and many others. But not all calls are successful. If you would like to get the next copy of the weekly watch list, you can certainly join us for less than $9 a month. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.